What's going on? This is Charlie from Xclusive. Today we're doing a satin PPF wrap on this Tesla Model Y. So you can see we've done a good amount so far. We got most of the doors, quarter, hatch, fender, hood done already. Right now I'm doing the back piece of the hatch, so the little license plate area. So I have the piece cut out here. I actually have it face down, so the wrap is on the bottom right here. If I can get it to open. There you go, so the wrap's on the bottom. I also sprayed a little bit of water underneath to get it to stick, but I'll redo that so you can see. Just putting water on the table. And if you do it this exact method, you want to make sure your table's clean. So you want to squeegee it beforehand. Just get water in there. And then you want to spray the backing, which is on top now. And just squeegee this too. Just make sure there's no dirt. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel this film. So you can see when I peel it, the film just kind of sticks to the table because of the water that's underneath. So this is a good method for doing if you're alone. And also, you won't get really any debris on the glue side because you're soaking the film right now. So any debris that's on here will fall off when I lift the piece up. I'm just gonna make sure I slip the panel too. I've already prepped this panel, so I used alcohol on the edges and the whole panel, and I've used a slip and a squeegee. So that's good. So now I can lift this up and lay this right on. All right. So I do have to make sure that I can get this edge all the way up, especially because this is a stealth, you don't want any paint showing. On a clear, you can kind of get away with it because it's clear. And now I'm just gonna work it in. Yeah, it's hot. So we use hot tack now, which is just hot distilled water. It's very hot. And we have a, it's like a tea coffee maker, or not really a maker, it's kind of like a kettle, but it holds 45 cups, so that's good to have throughout the day. So now I'm just spraying the hot water on the outside. And this is going to help the film conform to the panel better. Okay. Wow, this is really hot. All right, and now I'm going to start on one side and tack it. So I'm just putting a little bit of water underneath. Make sure this is worked out. All right. I'll grab my squeegee. Tack the side down. Actually, I'll lower this a little bit. So now I'm going to come to this side and do the same thing, but I'm going to stretch it very little. Okay.
That releases all of the fingers and tension in here.
Yep. Oops, the block came out. Just get that back in. There we go. Whoop. Okay. All right, so now both ends are tacked, which means I can squeegee the rest of the panel as long as there's no crazy wrinkles anywhere and I don't have to lift it up again. All right, so I'm just gonna work this air out. So now I'm gonna squeegee. And because I did tack here, you gotta remember, I can't go all the way to that edge, so I'm gonna go down, cross and down. And then once you get, sometimes you'll get a little air pocket like this if there's too much air. So to get rid of that, you just have to make sure you create an opening for the air to escape. Just like that. If you try to keep squeegeeing it, it might just keep moving around on you. Okay. Now I'm just gonna use a little bit of tack on this bottom edge. So I'm gonna lift it up to the body line and just tack. You don't have to use tack, but I like to, just to make sure it'll stay down. And you really want to make sure you work away from that body line, make sure there's no water trapped under there, because it's easy to forget and miss water over there. And go to this side. Okay, and then just double check up here. I gotta squeegee this. I'm gonna spray a little bit of tack in here. And now I'm just gonna lift this excess up and squeegee all the way in here. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the edges. I'm actually gonna start with this edge first. So you can see this piece over here doesn't tuck all the way underneath here. It actually just goes right up to the edge right here. So I'm ending up with all this extra stuff here that I can't tuck in by the headlight. So I'm gonna put a little relief cut. And so it's gonna be a little hard to understand, but you can see that this panel under here ends right here, and then the headlight will go in right here. So I'm actually gonna put the knife in there and go straight out. Just like that. And this is a relief cut, which will allow me to tuck in the material by the headlight. So now I'm just gonna put some tack. I can lift this up now freely. Make sure this edge is good. And I could start to tuck it in over there. So that's how you get this edge good. Over here, just need some more tack. Get that in there. And this piece over here doesn't have to go in too deep because the taillight's gonna cover it. But it's always good to get as much material in as you can to make sure it'll stay. It's just like that. That should be more than enough. Now I have at least 1 centimeter of material tucked underneath where the headlight's gonna be. And for here, on this edge, I'm actually gonna air cut it. So I'm gonna go about 1/4 inch away from the panel, around the whole bottom side. This is actually ending up to be about 1/2 inch. So this will allow me to tuck all this material on the back edge. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the slack, the extra material, I'm kind of giving it a little bit of tension downwards, and I'm using my middle finger sandwiched in between the knife and the panel edge to make sure that this piece is pretty much about the same length for the whole cut. And it's not the biggest deal if your cuts aren't straight or consistent on this extra material, because you could always fold it under and then retrim on the back side.